From gigantic ancient rodents to a wombat weighing 6,000 pounds. Here are 20 of the largest prehistoric ancestors of modern animals. Hey 420 Skills, thanks for letting us know you're enjoying the videos. We're very happy to have you aboard, and we appreciate those nice comments. And we hope all of you out there like this throwback edition of Epic Wildlife. So just let us know what you think of the comments. Cheers! PULMONOSCORPIUS. Now, many scorpions are considered to be small and deadly and have a fearsome reputation, but this prehistoric monster measured about 30 inches long and would have looked like a real nightmare. They lived up to around 345 million years ago and have been extinct for quite a while, thankfully so. DINOSUCHUS. Now, according to experts, this relative of today's hedgehog was likely native to Italy's Gargano Peninsula, where it lived in the late Miocene. Hedgehogs measure around 8 inches long, but this critter's entire body went about 2 feet long. Its noggin alone would have been about the size of a hedgehog. Megatherium. Just like a lot of four-footed creatures, insects had some giant-sized ancestors as well. Megatherium was a genus of insects that lived around 300 million years ago and would have resembled dragonflies. Wingspans could approach 26 inches, more than 2 feet, making it one of the largest known species of flying insect. It likely preyed on amphibians and other insects as well. ORIMEGALONYX. This flightless or near-flightless species of owl lived in Cuba until less than 12,000 years ago. Near 4 feet high and weighing more than 20 pounds, it may simply have been too large to effectively fly. Experts think it is likely the largest owl that has ever existed. And because they had powerful legs, these birds were strong runners and were capable of taking down prey that weighed around 80 pounds. Neurologus. Now, if you're familiar with Monty Python and the Holy Grail, you'll remember that great killer rabbit scene. Now, while this creature was not known to fly about and decapitate knights, it was known to grow pretty enormous for a rabbit. At around 50 pounds, it might have appeared like a vicious beast. Neurologus wouldn't be quite as cute and cuddly as today's fluffy critters with its massive legs and body. It became extinct around 3 million years ago. But unlike today's animals, this giant rabbit had a small skull with small eyes and ears and was unable to jump or hop. American lion. You think of lions and we usually think of Africa, but the big cat's ancestor once lived in North America and was bigger than today's king of the jungle, which can weigh around 550 pounds. The American lion went an estimated 770 pounds and measured over 8 feet long. It lived up until around 11,000 years ago and would have looked similar in appearance to its modern-day counterpart. Megatapirus. Now, this ancestor of the tapir lived around 4,000 years ago during the Middle Pleistocene and was far bigger than its modern-day descendants. Heavier specimens of today's tapirs can weigh as much as 700 pounds, but Megatapirus was far heavier and bulkier, and experts think they could have weighed as much as 1,100 pounds. The creatures once lived in present-day China and Vietnam. Megalania. The Komodo dragon is well known for being the largest extant species of lizard. They go about 10 feet long and can weigh around 150 pounds, although one verified specimen weighed more than 360 pounds. But you know what? Megalania was even bigger. Native to Australia, it could weigh more than 1,200 pounds and grow to at least 18 feet long. Now, those stats would serve to make this critter the largest land lizard that ever existed. But a lot of those estimates do vary because of the lack of complete fossil skeletons, the youngest of which is estimated to date back around 50,000 years. DAEODON. Now, the DAEODON is a critter that went about 12 feet long and appeared around 29 million years ago. They were the largest of the entelodonts, mammals that were similar to pigs. The prehistoric porkers are estimated to have weighed more than 900 pounds. Now, that is pretty heavy. But in 1933, a Poland China hog was weighed at more than 2,500 pounds for a record that still stands. You really have to wonder, what did they feed that pig? JOSEPHOARTIGASIA rodent. Now today, the capybara is the largest extant rodent, weighing close to 150 pounds. But around 2 million years ago, a much larger rodent could be found in South America, one which could grow to around 10 feet long, stand 5 feet high, and weigh around 2,000 pounds. That is a big rodent, and it would serve to make this critter the largest rodent known. Now contrast that with the size of its closest living relative, the pacarana, which weighs around 33 pounds. And just to prove there was nothing Mickey Mouse about this prehistoric rodent, experts think it had a bite force around 3 times as powerful as that of a modern-day tiger. Short-faced bear. Now the polar bear and Kodiak bears are considered the largest species of bear today. They can tip the scales at around 1,500 pounds each. But the short-faced bear, which lived during the Pleistocene epoch, it could stand up to 12 feet tall on its hind legs and weigh more than 2,100 pounds, more than a ton, and some estimates are higher. It is extinct now, but it once roamed North America some 11,000 years ago. GLYPTODON. Now we have to say it's hard to believe that this critter would be related to the pink fairy armadillo, going by that animal's size anyway, because the pink fairy armadillo weighs only around 4 ounces. But this giant armadillo that lived during the Pleistocene could reach massive proportions, weighing 2 tons and measuring more than 10 feet long. Just imagine an armadillo about the size of a small car. Woolly rhinoceros. Can you imagine a rhino covered in wool? These animals were once common in northern Asia and Europe and survived until the last glacial period less than 12,000 years ago. The bulky critters could weigh around 6,000 pounds and measure nearly 13 feet long. Now, that is huge, but this is one of the few cases where the descendant size can actually be larger than that of its ancestor. The largest extant species of rhino today is the white rhinoceros, and experts claim the creatures are capable of attaining weights exceeding 7,900 pounds. DIPROTODON. 3 known species of wombat are native to Australia, and a lot of people are fond of the marsupials because they look so darn cute. Weighing more than 70 pounds, they're not exactly small, but the ancestor DIPROTODON was the size of a rhino. They belong to a strange species that were known collectively as Australian megafauna. This is regarded as the largest marsupial ever and could weigh more than 6,100 pounds and measure about 10 feet long. They are thought to have gone extinct around 46,000 years ago. Archelon. A lot of us have kept turtles as pets, but this prehistoric ancestor of today's turtles would have turned the tables on you. Archelon is the largest genus of sea turtle that ever lived. Its closest living relative would be the leatherback sea turtle, the largest of today's turtles. But its ancestor was truly massive, at around 13 feet long, some 16 feet wide, and an estimated weight exceeding 4,800 pounds. That would make it larger than a Volkswagen Beetle. Hippopotamus gorgonops. Now, as you might already know, the largest land mammals are the elephant, the rhino, and the hippo, which is 3rd largest. Today, these critters can weigh around 4,000 pounds or so, but back in the prehistoric day, Hippopotamus gorgonops weighed in at some 8,600 pounds and measured around 14 feet long. The species first appeared in Africa and is thought to have gone extinct around 2 million years ago. Megatherium. Now, depending on the species, sloths can weigh up to around 20 pounds, but their prehistoric ancestor Megatherium was about the size of an elephant. This massive ground sloth was one of the heaviest mammals known, weighing around 4 tons and measuring some 20 feet long. They lived from the late Pliocene through the end of the Pleistocene. And did you know, experts think this creature may have been capable of bipedal locomotion. Deinosuchus. Now, we all know that alligators are scary critters, but did you know that reptiles can trace their lineage to a crocodilian species that actually hunted dinosaurs? With an estimated length of around 39 feet and larger specimens weighing more than 9 tons, Deinosuchus was obviously bigger than any croc or gator of today. Their fossils have been found throughout the US, and the creatures were thought to have lived until 73 million years ago. The huge sharp teeth would have enabled them to actually dine on dinosaurs. Deinotherium. Now, this monster was a prehistoric relative to present-day pachyderms and made its first appearance in the Middle Miocene epoch. Unlike today's elephants, though, it had a trunk that was shorter and tusks that curved downward and were attached to the lower jaw. The critter's fossils have been found in parts of Europe, Asia, and Africa and indicate they changed very little over the course of time. Experts have estimated the big beast stood over 13 feet tall and weighed nearly 15 tons, making it among the largest land animals of all time. And before getting to our number one critter, we have a couple of honorable mentions to throw out here. Now, these names are pretty well known, but they're just too big to ignore. Titanoboa is the giant snake that lived around 60 million years ago. Its weight has been estimated at around 2,500 pounds and was thought to have measured around 40 feet long. Its prey actually included giant crocodiles. Gigantopithecus is the huge ape that lived in Asia up to around 100,000 years ago. Standing around 10 feet tall and weighing some 1,200 pounds, it was the largest ape ever. Some experts think it may have been bipedal. And of course, there's Megalodon, the ancient shark that measured more than 60 feet long and weighed a whopping 114 tons. Experts say this powerful predator would have resembled today's great white shark. Megatherium. Now, these giant creatures lived during the Oligocene epoch in Europe and in Asia. Along with the woolly rhinoceros, it was an ancestor of today's rhinos. But unlike today's specimens, this massive mammal did not possess the signature horn. It had tusk-like incisors and long, pillar-like legs, which almost make it sound like an elephant. But these things were even larger. Based on fossil evidence, experts estimate this animal could have stood nearly 16 feet at the shoulder, measured over 24 feet long, and weighed an astonishing 44,000 pounds.